It's that time of year again when we all decide it's time to set new goals and make resolutions to help us make the best of the coming year. But this year, I think we should all be smart about it. Welcome everyone, and thank you for stopping by Pigeon Paper and Crafts. If you've been here before and seen one of my Plan With Me videos, then welcome back. But if you're new, let me introduce myself. I'm Susie. This is Polly. And together, we like to combine our love of all things planning and crafting with our personal wellness journey. Today, we'll be working on our goals for 2023. Before we get too far into the planning process, I'd like to talk a second about the difference between making a resolution and making a goal. Most people this time of year talk about New Year's resolution. And the problem with making a resolution is they only work if you're really committed to making them happen. A resolution is you deciding to promise something to yourself. And honestly, if you haven't made good on that promise to yourself before, why do you think you're going to make good on that promise this year? A resolution is typically open-ended with no specific time frame to accomplish the change. A goal, on the other hand, is something that's targeted with a specific timeline and a plan of action to reach your desired outcome. It's more of a specific outcome and commitment to achieve that outcome that you have set for yourself. Both rely on personal accountability, but when we say resolution, somehow there's less pressure. Studies have shown that after 6 months, less than half of the people are still successfully keeping their resolutions. Goals, on the other hand, are typically more purposeful and clear with a rigid timeline. People tend to put more effort into making a goal and making plans to achieve that goal than they do with the resolution. So today, we're going to talk about making a specific type of goal. This type of goal is called a SMART goal. SMART is an acronym for specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and timely. Depending on what source you reference, the A and the R of a SMART goal might be a little different. I prefer this set because my thought is a goal must be attainable in the time frame you're allowing, and it must be relevant to your life and needs. While losing weight might be relevant, losing 150 pounds before Valentine's Day is probably not attainable. And I'm sure if I make a goal to not spend more than an hour a day in the shower, it's certainly attainable, as I typically spend less than 10 minutes showering. It really isn't relevant, though, to me or anyone else in the world. Enough yammering on about what a SMART goal is. Let me show you my process for creating goals. So let's start with a plain old sheet of paper and work from here. Now, I know that I want to look at all areas of wellness, so I'm going to start by putting this wellness wheel sticker in the middle of my paper. If you're not familiar with the wellness wheel, it's a way to look at how balanced different areas of your life are. The wheel addresses physical, spiritual, financial, environmental, occupational, emotional, intellectual, and social areas of wellness. What I want to do is think about my life and how I would like to improve each area of my overall wellness. This will then help guide me to the actual goals I plan to set. Let's start with intellectual wellness. Last year, I decided I wanted to read more. Unfortunately, I didn't follow through on that goal, so it makes my list again for 2023. I know that my spiritual wellness will revolve around tarot readings. I've recently gotten back into that, so I would like to do that more often and develop my skills with the tarot deck. The next is pretty easy. It's my physical wellness, and of course, I need to lose some weight. I also want to eventually turn Pigeon Paper and Crafts into a business that can support me financially, so I need to focus there this year. And financially, I need to save some money. I'd like to take a look at my relationship with my fiance, who is my biggest emotional supporter. And for social wellness, let's make some friends in Utah. The last area, environmental wellness, that's going to be all about organization within the Pigeon Paper and Crafts space. It's hard to create in a space that's not organized. So now that we have our basic idea for how each area of our life needs to improve, we need to look a little more closely at why that particular idea made the top of my list. And now is the time to decide which things we'll break down into action steps and which will simply be something to track throughout the year. Let's start with our physical wellness in the idea of losing some weight. The reason I want to lose some weight is so that I can look a little better in my wedding dress in the fall, and also because there's a lot of opportunity for hiking around here, and I would love to be able to participate in that some more. The way that I could commit to losing weight this year would be to walk more, eat better, and add a little bit of cardio into my physical activity. I think that an attainable and realistic goal would be to lose 30 pounds. That's about 2 to 3 pounds a month, and it's something small changes can accomplish, and it still will make me feel better. For my spiritual wellness, I'd like to start doing weekly tarot readings. I think these readings allow me to reflect on my life and be more introspective. I feel that this practice will allow me to connect with my feelings and really understand my mindset about what's happening in my day-to-day world. Now, organizing my pigeon paper and crafts space will be a huge undertaking. The shed I work in is out of control. I need to find a place for everything that I have in there and purge the shed of everything that is old or doesn't work, and then also things that no longer bring me joy. My emotional wellness isn't something that I think is undernourished right now, but I don't want to take that for granted. I think that we can strengthen our bond by dedicating more time to the we activities and spend a little less time trying to force group time with the girls. They're 13 and 18, and hanging out with their parents isn't their favorite thing to do these days. Socially, I've not been trying to make friends here. Since we moved to Utah last spring, I've been working 4 to 5 days a week, 21 different clinics, and met a bunch of people. But since I've rarely spent more than 2 days in a row somewhere, it's been hard to really develop friendships with any of these folks. So I think this year, I'd like to join something where I can have social interactions with people who have similar interests. Intellectually, I want to make good on that 2022 goal to read more. I want to read some books for fun and some to learn. I think books, articles, trade magazines, and audiobooks will all satisfy this desire to give me that intellectual growth that I've been missing lately. Saving money as a financial goal, it's something that I'll need to really work on. There's a wedding in October to pay for. We want to build a garage onto the house. And then someday, hopefully not for a few years yet, a newer car. When we add all that up, there's more that I need to save for than I even make in a year. The final area of my total wellness journey for 2023, occupational wellness, focuses on turning pigeon paper and crafts into a 5-figure business so that within 3 years, I can stop working outside of the home and work the business full time. The first step will be to make the business self-supporting by 2024. So this was part 1 of my multi-part series on setting my SMART goals for 2023. If you're interested in watching as I develop this more fully over the next several videos, make sure to subscribe and ring the bell. That's all for now. See you next time.